Johnny, is that you? Seems like it. Hi Marky, what's up? All good, for the most part. I didn't recognize you, it has been a very long time ago. Yeah, 15 years to be exact. You look so different. I'm sure other classmates are also changed. Actually, not so much. I have contact with several of them and have heard about the rest. They do exact same things that they were doing after graduating high school. If I remember correctly, only you have moved out of this crapville in pursuit of something else. I guess I had to move out after being bullied and ostracized all my childhood. I didn't see any future in this place. Everyone hated me and I was miserable. I'm sorry that it had to be like this. Never mind, it's in the past. So what has changed with you? What's new? I would say 20 pounds of muscle and 6 zeros on my bank account. It suits you. This topic may sound like adopting some kind of fashion trend, but it's much more than that. Human nature is, was, and will always be a mystery. A puzzle that every newborn baby will try to solve in some period of life in its own way. It has been stated previously that living of a human being is a cyclical occurrence, which means that it happens in stages that have almost identical flow to them. A child is born totally defenseless and confused. Let's call him Johnny. A new world is to be discovered. With the help of a parent or a guardian, Johnny grows steadily and more confident in his own abilities. The child becomes more or less self-sufficient until it enters adolescence. Then all hell breaks loose. Confidence and esteem is at all-time low. Johnny doesn't know what to do with newly undergone physical changes and what roles in community he should undertake with that new look. Adolescence ends and the young adult feels that things are starting to be clearer, that he's finally grasping the rhythm of life, until he graduates school and becomes more confused with what to do in life. You see where I'm going with this? That exact same process of being reborn and dying comes and goes repeatedly up until we're old and wrinkly. It has to be that way, otherwise no growth will happen. Yes, growth, one of the essential psychological or spiritual needs of human beings. We have to grow in order to sense fulfillment in living. Being adult does not imply endless stream of wisdom. It only means to having right tools to navigate through upcoming challenges. Growth is recreating, a reinvention of the self. When you die to the past and embrace the new of today, you become humbled by hardships and realize that it's time to change, that it's time to adapt to the new order. Looking back, even without knowing, I can definitely point out some moments that were crucial for what turn my personal development would take. Those moments when you undergo a mental shift through pain and wisdom to become somebody else, to become something else. Of course, some of those moments were so painful that I didn't think I could make it, with all that anger and resentment. But now that I have deeper understanding for life, I am very grateful for each and every incident that shaped me to a form that I am embracing today. Super Saiyan. There were times when I tried to reinvent my image. You know how it is. A young buck wanting to find himself and his place in the society by trying different styles. I remember I had this sideburn, strap blend beard, or whatever you call it. I was between 17 and 19 years old, having pretty decent hair thickness, but not sufficient. Then time passed and I realized how juvenile I looked, and I waved bye-bye to that style. Some might say that it's natural to grow out of things, concepts and styles. What I'm trying to say is that oftentimes those changes happen in a subconscious way. In my opinion, a reinvention should also be done mindfully and strategically. With that said, reinvention can happen in different ways. Two main ways are inwardly and outwardly, as you may have already understood. The key takeaway is to recreate your persona whenever you feel that the current one has fulfilled its purpose. Whether it's inwardly, whenever you undergo tough times, face your fears, overcome challenges, and come out of the other side as a completely different person. Or it's about changing your fashion style, just to signal certain type of messages to your surroundings. Reinventing is very important because it means that you are open-minded to a degree where you can let go of the past. Don't let it define you, and acknowledge that you as a person is not rigid. You are not stubborn. You are willing to do whatever it takes to become better, wiser, and humble enough to feel like a student again. The major gist, the core of reinventing yourself, is to go against the flow. And by that I mean doing things that you would never even consider of doing. Essentially trying different stuff, not necessarily things that you are fearing, rather activities that you didn't think that you would enjoy. Even in my wildest dreams, I would never imagine myself doing social media. Well, I am not that active on other platforms yet. Stay tuned. But social media was so foreign, so outlandish to me. Why would somebody else waste time behind a screen when you can socialize with someone in reality? Today, I think social media is a very powerful way of getting your message across and reaching much broader audience compared to the days of the old. Well, I still think that it should be used for promotion and branding only, but it's a topic for another video. Anyhow, this was an example of an outwardly reinvention. I have told several times how I found mindfulness and such be kind of corny and straight out ridiculous concepts. That until I was faced with the reality of life and had to make tremendous changes within, so I could go and proceed with a healthy living. Now I think mindfulness is a key to sustaining a peace of mind. Reinventing yourself improves your reputation as well, because like intro depicted, people become fascinated of your effort and discipline to implement changes to your life. It's like the classical tale of the ugly duckling. From being puny and having acne explosion all over your face to becoming buff and modern day hunk. Now you might not care about superficialities, but people do. And as I spoke previously of, the concept of power and influence is always there whether you like it or not. Remember to not be rigid like rock, be fluid like water. Or saying out.